Hello everybody and happy Monday! Welcome to our Monday video. My name is Bev McCullough and I'm from Flamingo Toes, and I'm super excited to be with you here on our Monday video. We are sewing through the Wildflower Fields quilt sew along, our current sew along, and we are making a different block style each week. This week is block 5. I can't believe it, you guys. We only have 2 more blocks. And then we're going to start assembling, which is crazy, right? Like, it feels like this summer and this whole quilt along has gone by really quickly. Don't stress if you are not on block 5. There's no like penalty for not being with us or anything like that. It's 100% just on your own time. I just do a block each week because that's what works out for the schedule. But the videos are available for you to watch anytime. So if you're on block 2, or if you just found out about this quilt along and it's, 2 months later or whatever the case may be, you can find all the videos and sew along whenever you want. It's totally up to your pace. So we have 2 more blocks, and then we have our assembly, and then we have a little teensy break before we start the next thing. So we're going to talk about that next week as far as our schedule and what's coming next. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be awesome. So I hope you're having a great summer. It's been busy here. If you're new to the channel, you might not know, but we are getting ready to move into our new house. It keeps getting pushed back, but we have all of our fingers and toes crossed. Y'all are welcome to cross whatever you'd like in solidarity with us. We are hoping that we will be able to move in on Saturday. So I will be able to update you guys about that next week, but that is the current plan. I really hope it happens. We're ready to be there, but everything is pretty ready. We just have to pass some inspections and close this week, which sounds like not a lot, but it's kind of a big deal because if you don't pass, then you don't close. So funny thing, if stuff doesn't work, they don't want you to actually move in anyway. I don't get it. So that's on our schedule, and any thoughts and prayers you guys have would be greatly appreciated. It's been crazy around here. So, but crazy good, right? Like, it's just, lots to do and all that kind of thing. So I want to see who's here, who's watching with us today. I'm streaming live to my Facebook group and on YouTube, so we have watchers in both places. You're welcome to watch wherever you would like. And let's see who's here. Over on YouTube, Rebecca's here. Yay, you made it, Rebecca. Dolores is here. Val is here. Sunny day in Tucson. We actually have a kind of rainy, cloudy day today. It's been a very dry summer here in Tennessee, and really too dry. We have a lot of crops that are in danger, but we're actually getting some rain now, even though it's hot. Hot. But today's not too bad, so that's kind of nice. Teresa's here. Hot. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry it's hot, Teresa. I gotta scroll down here a little bit so I don't miss anybody on Facebook. Dawn's here. She says best part of her day. Dawn, you're the best. Thank you. Allison's here. Rhonda's here. It's time to sew, Rhonda. Yay. Wendy's here. The Sew Squad is here. Allison says, yay. Should we get shirts like the Flamingo Sew Squad? There has to be flamingos on it, right? Like, that's a requirement, but I like it. Rosemary's here. Wendy's here. Thanks for the crossed fingers, Wendy. I need it. Dawn's excited about seeing the new studio. Me too, Dawn. It's a blank slate now. So hopefully we can get some machines in there and get set up and ready to like rock and roll. We will see. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, let's see. Who else? Who am I missing? I don't want to miss anybody. Roxy's here. And, oh, people keep commenting, so it scrolls me back. Susie's here. Yay, Susie's in Wisconsin. Oh, and Allison says we need shirts, right? Hey, Debbie. Debbie's here. Shyla's here. Elizabeth from hot Southern California, so it's hot everywhere. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Donna. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. And Judy's over on YouTube. She says it's warm in Louisiana. I bet it is. If it's warm here, I can just imagine. I think you guys get warmer on average than we do. So at least the summer that I was in Louisiana, it was very hot. It's very hot. Sticks out in our heads as being one of the hottest summers we've ever had. So okay, let's talk about updates and what's going on the blog. If you're new, you might also not know that I have a blog, flamingotoes.com. That's where all of my tutorials, I have a lot of free projects there for quilting and sewing, embroidery. There's even like jewelry and house stuff way back in the early eras of the blog, but those are all still there. So you can check all that out. So we had some fun things on the blog this week. I am joining in with Fat Quarter Shop's current mystery sew-along. It's so fun, you guys. It's a Halloween sew-along. It's called the Boo Crew, and it is a mystery Halloween quilt. So we've had 2 weeks. Tomorrow is the 3rd week. And last week, I have it pinned so you guys can't see any other parts of it. But this is last week's blocks, I guess, sewn together. So how cute is this, you guys? It's a wee little ghost with a wispy tail. Look at that little tail. And then a candle. And I had to do some fussy cutting on my candle. So I had like a little Jack Be Nimble hopping over the candle. Well, he's actually in the flames. But I think he looks so cute, right? Hopping over his little candlestick. So this is my finished quilt, but I'm pinning it so that you guys can't tell exactly what all the blocks look like. It's because it's a mystery, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. But this is last week's design, and you can find that on my blog. If you click the link in today's video description, I have a link straight to my blocks. I am sewing with Bad to the Bone fabrics, which is a Riley Blake Designs Halloween fabric, just came out this year. And my background, it's a little hard to tell in photos, but it is a jade green. So it looks so fun. I love green and orange, shades of orange and gray and black together for Halloween. I like traditional Halloween colors, but I like a pop of something else. So like, I think the Fat Quarter Shop one, it has a purple background. I love like this jade green background. I love doing like a hot pink, something that just brightens it up a little bit. You guys know I'm not too much into neutrals. Pretty color vibrant is my style. So I like adding in that pop of color. So on the blog, if you go to the link, it's the Boo Crew page for week 2. And so you can get the link to the free patterns because all the patterns are free. You can get a link to the fabrics I'm using at Fat Quarter Shop if you want to pick up something similar like that. Bad to the Bone is a really good collection. It has several like spiderweb prints, and they have a really pretty gray glitter sparkle on them. This, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to see if I can hold it closer for you. There's a spiderweb, and this is quilted, so it's even harder to tell. But there's a spiderweb print on this white ghost, and it is a silver sparkle. So it doesn't really show up in photos, but you can see it in person, and it looks very cool. So if you used something and you made, it would definitely show up if you were snuggled under a Halloween quilt or you have something on your wall. I'm going to put that one on my wall because it's a good wall size. I think the finished, well, I'm not going to tell you the finished size because they haven't released that yet. So it's a secret. And hopefully I haven't spoiled that already, but anyway, I'm going to put it on my wall. So this week, and there's a video tutorial as well, so you can get the link to the free pattern on my blog, and you can see the video that they've done for these 2 blocks. So next week is tomorrow, they're releasing the last 2 blocks, and then the week after that, they're going to release the layout. So it's total of 4 weeks. And it'll be really fun. And after that, they are hosting a Christmas one. I join in that one every year as well. The Halloween one I'm new to. I haven't done that before, but I've done the Christmas one this will be my 3rd year, and I love sewing along with it. And you guys are going to love this year's quilt. I don't know exactly when that's starting. They're waiting on the fabric to get in, and you guys know, I mean, shipping is crazy these days. So they're still waiting on the shipment of fabric from the manufacturer. So as soon as that date is ready to go, I will let you know so that you can join in with that one as well. And that's all free too. And, you know, it's really fun because you get to make them up in the summer, and then you have the holiday quilts all ready to go for the holidays. You don't have to, you know, scurry around. Though we tend to like scurrying around last minute making things, right? Is that what you do? That's what I do. I'm like, oh gosh, I need a Halloween quilt. I should make one the day before Halloween. No, I'm not quite that bad, but I'm not great about that kind of thing. So, oh, I'm missing comments. Oh, Ginger's over on YouTube, and she says that she's doing Boo Crew too. Yay, Ginger! Oh, yay. And Dolores is trying to get Boo Crew 2 done. Yay. It's such a fun block. That little ghost is so cute, isn't it? Oh, my goodness. Dawn says it's hot in Minnesota. 94. Dawn, that seems very hot. And she said also she needs more Halloween quilts. Wendy, I don't know if the fabric requirements for the Christmas one is out yet or not. I will look on the Fat Quarter Shop page, and if it is, I will go in and find your comment and send you the link to it. I feel like they did put out a fabric requirements sheet, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think that it's a ton, but I will find it for you. So. Okay, so this week I did a new cross stitch project, and it doesn't show as well in because you can't see it, but my pom-poms fall to the back when it's not like hung. But this is my cute new cross stitch project. So my friend Molly Johansson, she is known as Wild Olive a lot of places. You probably have seen her cute embroidery and cross stitch projects. She just came out with a brand new book called Bundle of Joy. And it is so darling, you guys. It has all these really cute little animals in different layouts, and then there's motifs and lettering that goes with it. So you can use them to make a gift. You can just use the animal. You can make kind of a birth announcement sort of cross stitch, you know, put the name and date on there. Or you can just take the motifs and stitch them on other things. But they're really, really cute. I made this for a friend who loves whales, and it's just the cutest little whale. I added some pom-pom trim because you guys know I'm obsessed about pom-pom trim. And then I also wrapped the outer hoop in a little bit of navy gingham. This navy gingham is from Daisy Fields, which will be out next month, and that's super exciting. So I'm going to hold this closer so that you guys can see how cute it is. Isn't that darling? So I stitched some little like waves kind of around her, and I think it's a her. She's got a cute little blush, right? So I am having a giveaway for the Bundle of Joy book that is by Molly, and you can go to my blog. I've linked this in today's video description as well. The giveaway ends tomorrow, so if you're watching later in the week, it isn't going to still be live. But if you're watching today, hurry over and enter to win the copy of the book, because you guys are really gonna like it. If you have any, you know, babies coming or little ones, or maybe, you know, you like to make gifts for babies at church or different things like that, these are really cute projects, and they don't take a very long time to stitch. They're not, you know, they're for kids, so they're, you know, big happy animals. So they're really sweet, and you guys are gonna love this book. So head over to the blog, enter to win. It's super easy to enter on the blog. All you have to do is leave a comment on my blog. Not here, but you have to go over to the blog. And so I would love for one of my club or YouTube people to win. That would be super fun. So while you're there, make sure you click over and visit some of the other people. There's a whole blog tour going on this week, and everybody's giving away copies of the book. So definitely click around and see some of the other inspiration projects. So they're really cute. I gotta take a drink. Wendy said she just made a whale quilt, and that would go really well. Oh, I love that idea. What a fun gift combo to give like a quilt and a cross stitch project that match. I love that. Teresa needs a good tutorial for wrapping fabric like the gingham around the hoop. You know, I don't have a tutorial for that, but I will do a video one day on finishing. I did a like how to finish a hoop tutorial, and you can find that in my library of videos, but I didn't do one for wrapping, and it's really simple, Teresa. You kind of just start it and stop it with glue, and but I can do a video on that at some point here. So thanks for that. And if I forget, Teresa, You email me, okay? Oh, Stephanie said she's so excited because she made it to the live. Yay, Stephanie. Rebecca wants to join in on the Christmas sew along for Fat Quarter Shop. You totally need to. Yay. All right. Laura says she's watching Crit Break from work to fill her soul with watching some sewing. Yay, Laura. That's awesome. Okay, so that is the update on the blog things this week. Just a couple things as reminders. Some of you guys have seen photos that my quilt testers have been sharing. Those are for the new quilts that are coming out next month for Daisy Fields and my new basic with Riley Blake Designs, Dainty Daisy. So so that's kind of what those little sneak peeks are to get you guys excited for the new patterns that are releasing. Those are all coming out in early August, and I will definitely share in my social media and on the blog and in my videos when those are available. So we don't have too much longer to wait for that. Paper patterns are going to be here early next week, and then I'll be able to get them in the shop at the beginning of August, so it won't be too long. And then I'm not entirely sure when those fabrics are shipping in August, but it will be sometime during the month, and I'll let you know for sure when those come as well. So super exciting things coming up with Daisy Fields and Dainty Daisy. If you aren't familiar with those new collections, I do have a post for each on my blog, so you can go over there and search Daisy Fields or Dainty Daisy and check it out. Daisy Fields is a collection of blues and greens and yellows. There's no pink in the collection. It's a first for me, y'all. And there's lots of really pretty daisy prints. There are hexagons, some sweet little bees. It's a very fun collection. Dainty Daisy is a basic, so it's a much more small print, perfect for backgrounds. It's like a little, almost like a little spatter, and then some very tiny flower daisies are on that print, on that collection. So it's and it's because it's a basic, it will be available anytime you need it. So it's not like a regular fabric collection that's out for however long, 6 months or a year, whatever it is, but it will be available always. So assuming that you guys like it and it sells. I'm really excited to see your projects with that. It's going to make great backgrounds. It could be a whole, all the prints of a block, it's just really colorful and fun. So we're going to do a lot of fun things with Dainty Daisy as well. So exciting stuff next month, you guys. All right, should we talk about giveaways? Because we love giveaways here. Okay, so every week we have a little giveaway, and it's just my way of saying thank you to you guys for tuning in and hanging out with me on Mondays and sewing along with me and all your support. You guys know that I love you so much. So I have a really fun collection of things. This is last week's video, so every week I show the giveaway and then I draw the winner next week, the following Monday. So this is part of Riley Blake's pillow project series from last year. They're all designed by different Riley Blake designers, so it's like a new pillow every month. This is just 1 month's. I don't know what month this is. This is August's pillow, and it is designed, it was last August's, and it's designed by Kira Job. She is a fabulous Riley Blake designer. So you get this really cute kit for this really pretty pillow. Can you see it? It's just got a great sunny star. I feel like even though this is August's pillow, it would be great any time of year. It is so pretty. So you get everything you need to make the pillow except for like the inside. So it comes with the pillow top, the pillow backing, and binding and instructions. So all you need is thread and pillow form, and it is a 20 by 20 inch pillow. Plus you get this great yellow box. I know it's just a yellow box, but Riley Blake puts out the cutest boxes for their kits, and they're super sturdy. And so a lot of them, if they're for a collection, get a really pretty decorated box. But even this would be so cute for storing extra little things, even in your craft room. You could put charm packs in there or something like that for keeping things tidy. I also have for this week's winner a copy of my new book, Make It Mini. This is my mini quilts book that just came out a couple weeks ago. It's very brand new, And I'm really excited. You guys seem really excited about it too. I've had a lot of good feedback on it, so I can't wait to see your projects starting from it. But so it is 13 mini quilts, all of which have a little bit of embroidery. There are lots of tips in here for ways to make the quilts your own. If you don't embroider, I have tips and ideas on how to do applique or fussy cutting or something like that instead of the embroidery. But I also have all the stitches in here if you want to learn embroidery. And if you are over on my YouTube channel, I have a whole playlist of embroidery basic stitches, and every one of those stitches that are in here there's a video for. So you can check that out and learn and stitch along with us. So there's a lot of really cute patterns in here. I'm just going to kind of scroll through and show you some of my favorites. This one is a fun one. It is a little heart embroidered in the center, and that is made with my Stardust fabric. And then there is I love this one too. It's a sweet little barn. Look at that. It's called Daisy Farm because it has little embroidered daisies on the bottom. And so there's a whole bunch of different ones, and it's really fun. I am kicking off next Monday a blog tour of friends and super, super talented people in the quilting industry. And they are, we're going to do a book tour. So all that means is that everybody is posting a different version of the quilts in the book so that you can see a lot of different, a lot of inspiration. You can see the way I made them, but you can also see them in other fabrics, and that is always really fun. You guys love that. I know I do too. So you're going to love the lineup. It's amazing, you guys, and it's really, really good. So that kicks off next Monday, and it's going to go for 2 weeks, and we'll have 1 to 2 people posting every day, and everybody's giving away a copy of the book too. So lots of opportunities, ways to win, Make It Mini. And even if you already have it, I would love for you to go around and support these folks that are joining in with the blog tour. You can always give a copy away as a gift if you win a second copy and you already have it. So it's going to be really fun. So the winner of that, the pillow kit and my Make It Mini book, is Laura Hickman. Laura, you are our winner. She was watching over in the Facebook group last week. So congrats, Laura. I would love for you to send me an email with your mailing address, bev@flamingotoes.com, and I will get your prize out to you this week. So congrats. So this week I have a fun little bundle for you guys. I have a roly-poly, which is the same as a jelly roll from Moda, but Riley Blake calls them roly-polies, and I love that. They're so cute. So this is a little roly-poly of Enchanted Meadow. So you can see all the cute fun colors there. All of our Enchanted Meadow colors. And to give you some inspiration for the roly-poly, I have a copy of my Penny Serenade quilt pattern. Whoa, it's shiny. There you go. So you can see it is made up of these little hexagons of strip piecing, and it just makes really cool designs with the fabrics, and it's very, very fast to sew together. I have this great method for piecing the strips together and then cutting them out with the templates, and it goes together really quickly. So this is Penny Serenade. There are paper templates in here, but there are also, I have designed acrylic templates that work for this quilt pattern along with 2 of my other quilt patterns. So this is all part of the package, and all of these things are available in my shop. I've linked to them in today's video description. So if you want to be entered in this week's giveaway, all you have to do is leave a comment, and you can leave any kind of comment, and you can do it on Facebook or YouTube, and you can do it whether you're watching live or later in the week, and then I'll draw the winner next week. So it's a fun little bundle. This would also be a great gift for a quilty friend. If you're looking for something like that, you would have it all ready to go. Everything you need to make the quilt except for the background and the border fabric. Super, super easy and fun. So, oh, Shyla says she got her book last week. Yay! Rhonda says, best book ever. Well, that's very sweet, Rhonda. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Thanks, Dolores. Yay, Rebecca. Thank you. Let's see. Helen said, Enchanted Meadow is beautiful. Thank you, Helen. Oh, I love it. I'm so glad you like it. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Okay, it's tea time. So every week I share what tea I'm drinking for the day. You guys know I'm a very avid tea person. So today we're going summery and light with Perfect Peach. It's a Bigelow tea. You can probably find it in your grocery store. It's just a really nice light herbal peach. It's a really good peach. That one, and then there's I think it's Twining's Country Peach. That's my other favorite peach. So I kind of go back and forth between the two, but I'm a sucker for pretty much anything peach flavored. That is, those are my favorites. I love, and it just screams summer to me. Do you guys ever get the Chick-fil-A peach shake? I don't do that very often, but it is occasionally like a really nice treat to get. Those are so good. So anyway, how do you guys feel about peach flavored things? Do you love them like I do? All right. I'm going to move this over because we're going to start sewing. And we are making up block 5. And I'm going to show you what we're doing. So this is our Wildflower Fields quilt. We are on block 5. And you can see we have 2 more blocks, block 6 and block 7. And block 7 is a big one. And so that will be really fun to put together. And then we have our Assembly and Borders week. So it's trucking right along, you guys. This is really fast. And so this is the block 5 block. It looks like a little star block, but it's got these half square triangles in each corner that kind of round off the whole star points. So it's really fun. And then it's got this square and a square in the center. So it has a really cute diamond look in the center of the block. So that's what we're going to make up today. I have 2 different, so when I made up my example, there are 4 total stars of this block in the quilt, 2 of each of these. So this one has the aqua pine needle print in the center, and the one on the right, you can't see, I'm pointing with my mouse, but you can't see that. And then it has the 2 mushroom prints, the dark red one for the star points, and then the light pink one for the half square triangles in the center. And then the other one, the center of the block on the left side of the screen, is the main aqua print from Enchanted Fields, the main floral. And then it has the kind of coral stripe as the star points, and then it has the main print, which I did this one a little bit different. It has the main floral as the half square triangles. So I did that a little bit different this week. You can use whichever prints you would like. So we are going to start sewing. And this one is a fun one. It does use a lot of the same skills that we have used before in assembling this quilt. So that makes it really, really nice. We are going to start with assembling the center portion of the block. So I have this large piece of, I'm going to shimmy things around here a little bit. I have this large piece of the center, my aqua print. We're crooked. It bothers me if we're out of alignment. Okay, so I have this really pretty, and we're going to do the diamond pieces. We're going to make this into a diamond. So first what we need to do is we need to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of all of these squares. And I'm going to just do one of them to show you, but you guys know I have this little laser here on my sewing machine, and I'm going to use that to sew because we are sewing on the marked line, not on either side of it like you do with a half square triangle. Except I got mine a little bit off there. So I've drawn a line, diagonal line on here, and I'm going to place this like this on the top left corner. Because we're making a diamond, you want your lines to go like this to make that diamond shape. So I'm going to do the 2 opposite sides and then we'll cut. So I'm going to do this corner and this corner, and then we'll do some trimming. So I'm going to sew on the marked line. If you need, if you don't have the pattern, I have it linked in the video today. so that you can get all the fabric measurements and things like that that you need and to know how much to cut. So you can check out the pattern in my shop for all the details that you need as far as cutting. This is just a sew through tutorial so that you know and how to make the block and how to get some tips and things like that for putting it together easily. A visual sew through really just makes a huge difference. Okay, so I've sewn on that marked line. I'm going to do the exact same thing on this bottom corner. We cannot do them next to each other because the pieces overlap, and if you want to be able to trim your pieces first and then sew them on. So we have to do opposite kind of catty corners rather than, you know, all four at the same time. And I'll show you what that means. These two blocks up here overlap 1/4 inch, these two, because you want that overlapping section to end up in your seam allowance so that you get a nice diamond point. So I have sewn my 2 corners in. I'm going to shimmy this back up so I'm out of the way. And we're going to do some trimming now. So we're going to place the ruler on the little, so that this line is on the seam allowance and it extends 1/4 inch. So you want to basically trim off 1/4 inch outside that seam. Now, a couple weeks ago, while we were making half square triangles or doing stitch and flip box, I had a tutorial for you on how to, it was like a bonus little thing, on how to save these points and turn them into half square triangles. It just takes 1 extra seam. So if you're wanting to do that and you don't want to have those be waste, check that out. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So now I have sewn the 2 corners on. Here we go. And I'm going to press. And I am pressing the seams towards the corners. And my iron turned off while I was chatting, so it's not super hot. Inevitably, right? That's what happens. So here's how it looks. Super cute, super easy. And now we're going to do the exact same thing with the remaining 2 corners. So I'm going to sew these on. Now my biggest tip for these is don't stretch your fabric, because you're basically sewing on the bias, you're sewing down this way. You don't want to be pulling your fabric as you sew. You don't ever want to do that, but sometimes it is an easy thing to slide into. But because these are on the bias, the fabric does stretch quite a bit more than it does this way. That doesn't really stretch, but it does on the bias. And that's the way the fabric is woven. But so the best way to keep your square a square, keep it from getting distorted, is to use your hands as little as possible. Guide your fabric, but don't pull your fabric. So that would be one of my main tips as far as keeping your piece nice and square as you sew. And you can see here, you're kind of guiding your fabric, but you want to be real gentle with it so that that doesn't pull at all. And we're going to just sew right on over that. So we've overlapped those other 2 pieces just a little bit. You can see right here I've overlapped, and that will be 1/4 inch. That's what gives us those really nice points in the diamond, or the square in the square. So now I'm going to do the other side. And you guys know to pop on and ask questions. I do my best to look and see, but if I do miss your question and I don't mention it, please repeat it. It's not that I have that I don't want to answer it or anything like that. It's that, you know, as the comments scroll up, it's easy to miss. So now we have sewn here, so you can see we've sewn at these angles and we've made a diamond. So we're going to trim these corners off. Teresa's not so much into peach drinks. Okay, Teresa, we won't give you anything peach. At our lovely someday, wouldn't it be fun to have a retreat? Make sure that there's something besides peach for Teresa to drink. Let's see. Dawn says she's saving all of her scraps for a small quilt. That's very genius. Love it. Okay, so there you go. Cute, cute, cute little square and a square little diamond. Okay, so now we're going to press again. Get this nice and flat. And again, when we're pressing, you want to do the same thing as when you're sewing. You don't want to pull your fabric because that will stretch it out and you will have a wonky shaped square instead of a square shaped square. Okay, so there is our cute little center of our block. So we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to make our star points. So if you guys have been sewing along so far, if you checked out this week's videos or the previous videos, these star points are made just like the others. I am sewing the top star piece, so the one that goes on the top here. And I am using directional fabric, so I'm double checking. I've laid this on the left side. My line will go like this. Again, I'm not drawing it on, I'm using my laser, but the angle of it will go like this. This is in your pattern, sorry. And I am done double check that I have the fabric directional the way I want it. So yep, my stripes go up and down. That's what I'm aiming for on this block. So I am going to sew. And I'm sewing on the marked line. This is the exact same skill that we just did on the square and a square, but we're doing it on this piece to make the star points. And this is actually a flying geese block, but we are using it for our star. So I've sewn on the marked line. Now I'm going to trim this side away, and we are going to press. So these two pieces overlap 1/4 of an inch, just like the square and a square does. Here's this cute piece right here. Rhonda says the Creative Grid 6.5 inch ruler is a lifesaver for these units. That's exactly what I'm using, y'all. This is the Creative Grid 6.5. I'm a big Creative Grids person. I really like their, so they have markings on 2 different types. This is 1 inch markings, and then on this side they have the 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. It makes trimming these pieces super easy, and it's a nice size for just doing a lot of these smaller blocks. I pretty much have switched to I use some Lori Holt blocks as well, but I like the markings on the Creative Grids. So this is a really good size to pick up if you're looking for a nice small size ruler for trimming and that sort of thing. So that is one of my favorites. Okay, so I've pressed. I've got my cute left side of my star, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the right side. So I'm going to place it pretty much. If a stripe is just an up and down stripe and you want it to be vertical, you're going to do a stitch and flip star. You're going to turn it horizontally when it's upside down. So you can see here I've got my stripe is horizontal, but when I turn it, the angle that it's going to get turned when I sew and then press, the stripe is vertical. Now that doesn't always work if you are having a directional fabric that's not a stripe. See, with a stripe, it doesn't matter which is up or down, like it's still vertical, right? If you turn it upside or right side. A directional print is a little bit different in that, you know, you might have to check and see if your animals are right side up. So it's always a good idea to be aware of which piece in the block you're sewing, if it's going on the top or the sides, and then just do a double check as far as your alignment. Just flip that star section over at an angle like it will be when you press it, and make sure that it's lined up the way you would like it to be. So that is our star piece there. So now I'm going to trim off. Oh, good. Rhonda says this ruler comes in a left-hand version if you are left-handed. So that is great to know. Thanks, Rhonda. So make sure you check for that if you are left-handed. So we've trimmed 1/4 of an inch away from our seam, and now we are going to press. And I am going to show you that I have done a little bit of prep. I've made all my other star point blocks, my other flying geese, so those are all ready to go. And now we can work on the corners. So there's going to be a total of 4 of these that you are going to make for the star points of this block. So I'm going to set those aside. So now we are going to do our half square triangles that go in the corner. So I am going to draw the marked line on these. This is just a standard way of making 2 half square triangles at once. I do have a project a quilt coming out where we make 8 at once, and those are really fun. I like to do that because it feels like you're kind of doing things lightning fast. I've drawn a marked line on my background fabric. I'm going to place it right sides together with my print fabric, and I am going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on either side of this marked line. So 2 seams, one going this way and one going that way. So we're going to do that. I usually make my cutting of my blocks, my half square triangle blocks, a little bit larger than the unfinished block size that goes in the quilt, and that is so that you can trim them up and have them be the right size. Because you are sewing on the bias, it is easy to get your pieces off just a little bit, and having those pieces be slightly larger than they are in the unfinished portion of the block allows you to trim up. It does take an extra step, but it is worth it, you guys, to take the minute to trim up your blocks, because they will be precisely the right size that they need to be, and they will fit in the block much better. And I think you guys will find that your piecing is much more accurate when you trim up your blocks. So now I have cut on that marked line that was in the center, and I have 2 half square triangles. So cute, right? These are really fun. So now I'm going to press them open, and then we will trim. And after we trim, then everything is ready to start assembling our block. So there are a few extra steps in this one, but they go together really quickly. Okay, so now I have cute half square triangles, and what I'm going to do, oh, Laura says this so long has her becoming a flying geese pro. Yay, Laura! That's awesome. Oh, Tracy over on YouTube said Creative Grizz is the only ruler made for left-handed quilters. She's converted and she has all 4 that they have available. That's great to know. Okay, so if y'all are left-handed, that's a good place to look at it. And Helen, she was looking for a laser for her machine. This machine comes with a laser. It's the Baby Lock Crescendo. And unfortunately, I don't know of a good one as far as a later add one on. If anybody has a thought on that, you're welcome to jump into the comments and leave your thoughts. So I like to trim my half square triangles 2 at once. And the way that I do that is I layer them up on top of each other. You can see that the print is opposite each other. And that is so that these seams nest together. So the seams are nested together all the way down, and then I go ahead and place my ruler so that the diagonal line of the ruler is on that seam. Now I'm trimming these to, it says in here, I just want to make sure, 3.5 inches. So I want to make sure that I have 3.5 inches inside the fabric all the way around. There's not a lot trimming off. You can see that there's not a lot of waste with these, but there's enough trimming off that it's going to be nice and tidy when we're done. So I'm going to kind of turn this so that it's at the right angle that I can hold it down because I'm not standing like I normally do. And I'm just going to trim 2 sides at once. Keep in mind, if you're trimming 2 sides at once, you want to make sure your fingers are below that ruler line. I do not want anybody to cut their tips of their fingers off. So we trimmed 2 sides there. Now we're going to put that diagonal line on the seam again, and we're lining up the 3.5 inch mark on the left side and bottom side. This is the same steps that you would do whether you're trimming 2 at once or just 1 at a time, but it just saves a little bit of time to trim 2 at once. If you are nervous about doing that, go ahead and grab some of your scraps and grab and make up some half square triangles and practice. It is a really fun, and it does half the amount of trimming that you have to do because you can do 2 at one time. So let's lay out our blocks. You guys know that I am a big fan of laying out my blocks to make sure that I am assembling it correctly. Let me shimmy this up here a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I have assembled these and I've sewn them so that they are ready. Our star points, you can see that I've got these directional fabrics so that on the 2 sides the lines still go up and down. This is a very tiny stripe. It is very, very minimalist. So if you do not feel like doing that, mostly your eye will just see the flowers instead of the stripes. So don't feel like you have to do this. You don't have to do the directional worrying about that. So now I'm going to place my half square triangles in each corner, and I'm doing that aligned so that the prints point in to the center. And the reason I lay out my blocks like this is so that I can visually make sure it's right before I assemble it, and I'm less likely to make those mistakes that we all make in putting a block together, you know, of accidentally flipping a block, because it happens to the best of us. That looks really cool though. Look at that. I really like that. Maybe we'll do another block with the with the big diamond in the center. Okay, so now I'm going to start assembling this. I'm going to chain piece it together. I'm taking my middle and far left pieces and I am going to sew them together. And I am going to not clip my threads at the end. Let's do this a little bit so you guys can see the sewing. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm taking these 2, putting them right sides together, and I'm going to sew. I'm also going to check and make sure that I have my 2 points lined up well so that they are in the center, and you know, I'm going to do my best to make sure that I do have those points and diamonds not overlapping each other or anything. I don't worry too much if they do. I mean, really, I'm the only one that would notice that maybe the, you know, center diamond point is not there. I don't get too fussed about that kind of thing because I still want it to be fun. I'm far from OCD, but I you know, I do want nice points and things like that, but I'm also not going to, unless it's really off or really affects the appearance of a block, I am not going to rip out a point that I can't see or something like that. So just a little bit of encouragement to you to not get too worried about getting your pieces perfectly pointed and lined up like that. It can sometimes ruin the fun. Okay, so now you can see I have my, oh, I did pretty good here. There you go, look. Just double checking that a little bit. Make sure that the points are. And you can absolutely, Rhonda says she uses a pin to line up the points. You can absolutely do that, Rhonda. It definitely helps, especially if you're doing multiple areas. So I've got this first column sewn, you know, the first to the second, and now we're going to do the exact same thing with this last section. So I'm leaving everything pieced together, and we're going to sew. And this basically is forming the 9-patch style. It's 9 pieces that are sewing together. Obviously, we've done several different piecing methods to get different elements of the block in place, but it is still a 9-patch that we are sewing together. Opening that up and putting the right side on here. And so this is the same method that I have used to piece all of the blocks together at the end, this whole like 9-patch format. Kind of shimmying a little bit here. So it's really, once you kind of get in the groove of it, it makes it quicker. And these blocks are nice and big. They are 12.5-inch unfinished. So even though we have pieced together elements for, our half square triangles and our center to make it more interesting, it is still a fairly large block, and we're working with fairly big pieces, so you can sew them together pretty quickly. The other thing that I love about working with a little bit larger block is that it allows you to see the fabric. We really, all of us, love fabric. That's one of the reasons we do this, right? Is because we get a little bit addicted to fabric. And so having pieces this large allows you to really see those fabrics and allows them to shine. So that's one of the other reasons that I do it. So I like the large blocks. So now we've got our rows all sewn together. This is our first row. This is our second row, this is our third row, and they are held together with the chain piecing little threads, and we're going to press. Stephanie says having small imperfections adds charm, and Dawn says she has lots of charm. Oh, yay. All right, let's press. And the pressing instructions are in there. It does have you press them kind of the first row opposite the second row, etc. If you feel like on this block you need to press your seams open, please do so. This is one of those that there is a bit of bulk in those, especially on that middle row, because you have the points of the flying geese block coming together with the point of the diamond block, and it can get a bit bulky there. So feel free to press your seams open if you're finding that they're kind of chunky. We don't want that. So here we go. There's our cute block. And all you need to do at this point is sew the rows together. I did that in a previous video, so I'm not going to do that here. But all you'll do is fold these down, sew this seam, fold this one up, sew that seam, and then you have your block perfectly laid out, and and you don't have to worry about it. So you'll make 2 with one colorway and 2 with another colorway. If you're kind of following the instructions, I'm going to go back to my main camera here. You will, so you'll make a total of 4 of those, and I did 2 and 2. So you can do it that way, or feel free to get creative with yours. Make 4 different ones, make 4 all the same. Just keep in mind, if you bought the fat quarter bundle of whatever fabric you're using, Enchanted Meadow or whatever, if you change up and do your blocks with a different fabric placement, that you'll probably have to change it up later. We only have 2 more blocks, one of which is this size, a 12-inch, and then the other one is double the size. Well, it's quadruple really, because it's a 24.5-inch unfinished block. So that is the block that is right here. It is the giant corner blocks that are on the top left and bottom right of the quilt. And if we're talking about big blocks here, these are big ones, so they're really, really fun to sew together. It'll be fun to piece those up in a couple weeks. So, all right, so that's all the things, I think. This is block 5. Next week will be block 6. I am hoping that I will be able to be live and we'll be able to be on target with the whole move and everything that's involved with that. Make sure you head over to the blog and enter to win the Bundle of Joy book, and you check out all the other bloggers. I have the schedule there and links to their blogs so that you can enter their giveaways as well. And also you can head to my blog to to get the Boo Crew Fat Quarter Shop Mystery Quilt pattern. So that one's a really fun one. Oh, I also didn't mention, coming up, I am joining in, and I'm a teacher at Garden of Quilts. That is a quilt festival and retreat it's a retreat in the sense that it's being held and there's quilt classes. So I'm not sure if retreat means you have to stay there, but it is classes and a quilt show held in Utah. It is the middle week of September, 15th through the 17th, I believe are the dates. I am teaching 3 classes there. I would absolutely love, love, love for you guys to come. It's going to be so fun, and there's tons of events. There's classes all day. There's lectures. There are trunk shows. There are events at night that you can add on to your package. It's just amazing. So it's put on by Riley Blake Designs, and then there's a whole lot of other sponsors. My 3 classes are, one of them is a project from my new book, the Make It Mini book. It is the Love to Quilt quilt. We're going to learn the backstitch, the layered backstitch, and then we're going to piece together that mini quilt. So that's going to be really fun. I am teaching my garden terrace quilt, which is one of the new quilts that I designed for Daisy Fields. So that will be really fun. And then I am joining in with Amanda and Christopher, my 2 other musketeers. We do the last 2 years we've done a Neat a Little Christmas table runner party in July. This year our table runner Christmas party will be held at Garden of Quilts. So the 3 of us are teaching a class together for a Christmas table runner. The layout is the same, so you get one layout, and then in the center is a special Christmas block, and we've each designed a different block. So you will get the runner pattern, and you will be able to choose which holiday block you put in the center, but your kit will include all the fabric for those, and you'll be able to make up all the blocks. We're going to each teach our block, and then we're also going to go over the runner. So that will be really fun, and it's going to be basically a Christmas party. You guys do not want to miss that class. It's going to be amazing. Then the other thing that Amanda and Christopher and I are doing together is this year there are events every night. There hasn't always been events every night. There's the Doan girls have done trunk shows in the past, and they are doing that again this year, so you can sign up to do that. But there are now nightly events as well that you can sign up for, and one of them, the first night, is a quilty game show, and Christopher and Amanda and I are hosting that. We are going to have a amazing game show, you guys, and it's going to be so fun. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have games that the contestants have to compete in. Everybody has a chance to win something. It's just going to be pretty amazing. So I would love for you to join us on Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday night for that. So you can check. I've linked to the Garden of Quilts website on the video description today, so check that out, and you can go see all the classes. There is an amazing lineup of teachers this year. They're not all Riley Blake designers, though Riley Blake designers are awesome. There are all sorts of people teaching classes, and you can take all kinds of things. I mean, and from rock stars, we're talking about the Doans and Lori Holt and people like that. So I would love for you guys to check that out if you're looking for a fun quilty event. In addition to all the classes, there will be a quilt show. The event is held at Thanksgiving Point, which is a huge botanical garden, and all the quilts will be throughout the grounds of the garden. And if you've never seen an outdoor quilt, I don't even know if there is another one like this, but it is so inspiring to walk the gardens and then just to see these quilts hanging up. And you know, they have tents for special quilts like vintage quilts and things like that, so they're a little more protected, and it's just amazing. You guys can check out the site and submit your quilts as well, and I would, just definitely check it out. It's going to be very, very fun. So if you have any questions about Garden of Quilts, email me, or anything else, really, email me, bev@flamingotoes.com. I will see you guys next Monday, hopefully live, if not recorded, but fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed. We'll be at the new house and be live for our block 6 in this quilt. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love Mondays with you guys. You're the best. So have a great week, everybody. Bye.